When looking for a fragrance and it's delicate and sensual and lovely and just beautiful, but you still want it to perform and you still want to get the longevity and a bit of projection, I found some little beauties for you. Hi, I'm Gabby and welcome back to another edition. I am the Fragrantician, and if this is your first time, bienvenue, willkommen, welcome, benvenido. Yes, we are all about conviviality, unconventionality, and if that's you, then keep on watching. So today I am talking about Perfumes scents that all kinds really, all kinds of price points and different notes really in a whole range, and you think, oh, that will perform, won't it? Well, sometimes you find a perfume that is delicate and even dainty, but it has no performance, and it's one of those, maybe one of those freshies, maybe one of those fragrances that don't belong in the spicy, the oriental floral, those kind of like orients, those kind of scents that don't really have that longevity and that hold. But I've got some that can do that. And as Thomas Out 110 has said many a time, and I'm going to steal the phrase from him, he has said it's like a soft billowing pillow. It's poof, 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 poof. Have you seen, you know, when you're having a pillow fight and it's all feathers, but it's like, oof, yeah, it's got that kind of strength. So let's delve in and see what we've got. This first one, you're going to think, hell no, this isn't a delicate, dainty scent. But in some aspects, it is. And in other aspects, it isn't. But I included this because there are some lovely floral notes, some lovely green notes, some lovely notes in this. The accords in this make it so pretty for when it was at its time. And you've got to think of that at its time, when it came out in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, when it came out in 79, this was a scent that we all wore as teenagers. And as I spoke to my cousin earlier in the week about this scent, we all felt like we were 18 again when we wore this in the 80s and 90s. And this scent is an A&A by Castro. Yes, you may well recoil and think, I don't think so. Well, I do think so. Some people say it's soapy, but don't forget, it is of a scent in that era that might be perceived as old-fashioned now, and oh my God, that's too strong. But whenever I wore this, I got lots of compliments, and I still get lots of compliments from this scent. And people say, oh, it really suits you. I don't know if they're paying me a compliment or not. That's not the point. Sometimes it's nice to wear a fragrance to have a little bit of attention, whether it is a head turner or not. But the advertising, when you remember, it's all about, it was those pixies and it was all, it's probably out of all of these scents, this is probably one of the strongest delicate ones. I like perfumes that have a contrast of delicacy but strength. You know, it's not always about having a beast mode scent that has got oud or spicy notes or something in it too harsh a floral. I don't perceive this myself as harsh a floral. You may, that's absolutely fine, but I don't. So an A&A is on the list. Now this next one is quite affordable. I think I got it for quite a good price at the time, and it is Still by Jennifer Lopez. Some people don't like this as well. It has this crisp, fresh appeal to it, but it is quite long lasting on my skin, and it is an everyday scent. It is one of those scents that, again, people have stopped me. I have people that stop me a lot of the time for my fragrances because I do overspray. This is one that I feel you do have to overspray a little bit. You don't need 2 or 3 sprays. You need about 7 or 8. Yes. Less is less, more is more. When they say less is more, not when it applies to perfume. Sorry, you heard it here. But Still by Jennifer Lopez is one of those scents that I think is really underrated. It's crisp shirt and jeans, or you could still wear this for going out on a date night. It's fresh, it's elegant, it's classic, it's sensual, it's everyday, it's not too much, but it has a little bit of a presence around you. And that's what I like, while Claude is just, there we go. So, Still by Jennifer Lopez, still a beauty, still here, still in my collection. Next one is from an artisanal brand, would you say that? You know, a bit of a one-woman band, Our Liz, from Papillon, and it is Angelique. Now, I don't wear this as much as I should. I've put a bit of a dent in it, but it's powdery, and again, it's like those little elves, those little pixies in the forest. This is from a bygone era. This is very Edwardian. This is very chic, and to some it may be a little bit austere. It may be a little bit, again, old-fashioned. Don't forget, my scent profile wardrobe isn't your fresh citrus scents or your sweet citrusy scents. It's none of those. My scents are from a bit of a bygone era, a bit of a modern mixing with vintage. That's how I like to live my life. You know, I don't like to be just this one-dimensional person. And I feel this kind of takes me on to a bygone era, takes me to a previous life when I lived in the Edwardian era, because I know I did. You might think, oh my God, what's she talking about? That's another story. But I feel when I wear this, I'm transported to 1913, the long hot summer just before World War One broke out, the year after, and it was a year of peace before the turmoil. This is what this represents to me, that Edwardian era. I've said this before, it's really true food for my soul. It evokes so many slightly melancholic emotions, but it's one of those scents that doesn't wear you, but it still gives a lovely scent bubble. Maybe one of the lightest scents out of Papillon, but still has presence. These scents still have presence. Some you need to overspray more than others. This I spray about 4 or 5 sprays, and then I do top up throughout the day. That's all you need. And I find it just wafts gently. It has powderiness. There's not really any sweetness to it. Slightly forest-like, dreamy-like, ethereal-like. And it's Angelique by Papillon. The next one is purely, I do call it my little angel in a bottle. It has so many memories for me. It's delicate and ethereal and dainty, but it still has presence. Noah by Castro. This is a vintage formula I have from 1999. I'm going to actually spray a little bit because I want to be transported again. These fragrances actually do kind of transport me. You know, it's kind of like a slight bitter coffee, and I don't like coffee normally, but mixed with the coriander and the peony and the florals and the musk. It's a cloud-like scent. Now, with this old formula, you don't need to spray a lot, only about 4 sprays maximum. With the new formula, which I've tried, it's been absolutely butchered, in my opinion. But this is angelic and ethereal and dainty, yet it has this strength of quality. It has, I feel like I'm being comforted in the colour, almost hues of blue and green from the angels, from Archangel Michael. That's how I feel. It's like little Archangel Michael in a bottle that's giving me the strength to go through the day, that's giving me divine serenity. Yeah, that's what Noah is. It's this floating pearl that is just fulfilling your wishes. Noah by Castro. We have 2 from Dior. The first one is Diorissimo, a classic lily of the valley scent. Slightly bold maybe, but again, it is of that era. But it's, in my opinion, one of those fresh, stepped out of the shower scents that I can spray. It's an eau de toilette formula that lasts on my skin and it projects as well. Lily of the Valley is a dainty scent, dainty floral, used in wedding bouquets a lot. And it was one of the florals that Christian Dior absolutely loved. It signifies peace. It signifies good fortune as well. And this was Lady Diana's, Princess Diana, one of her scents. It is just Lily of the Valley centric. It has some sweetness in there. It's quite sweet, I find. And when I first smelt it years ago, it was a love at first sniff. And this is appropriate for daytime, appropriate all year round. I wear it all year round. Diorissimo by Dior. Now this next one isn't going to come as a surprise. It is Pure Poison by Dior, but if you're also looking for a dupe of it that lasts just as long, I have Black Point Perfumes, which I recently discovered, which I'm going to do one video dedicated to them because I've done a little haul on, well, I have 8 perfumes, 8 scents from their collection. So this one, reasonably priced, I think it's 14 or 15.99 for 50 mils. If you can't shell out for the original, I kid you not, the original formula from it. And if you're looking for one with even more of a punch, go for Sheer Venom by the Perfume Parlor. This is Extrait de Parfum. This is Eau de Parfum. But I'm not going to talk about them yet because I'm going to dedicate more videos to my dupe scents. Because I've been investing in a lot of dupes from different brands, not just Black Point, but Perfume Parlor. I will say Black Point and Perfume Parlor have excellent customer service here in the UK. Black Point is based in Lisburn, not Lisbon, but Lisburn in Northern Ireland. And Perfume Parlor is based in Leicester, I do believe, here in the UK. And you can have next day delivery if you want to pay just a little bit extra. Even with Royal Mail, it'll come next day. I think it's about $2 or $3.99 for next day delivery with Black Point. With Perfume Parlor, it's more with DPD. But anyway, Pure Poison, this is the original formula I'm talking about. This has orange blossom and jasmine, but I feel it's more orange blossom centric in the original formula than in the new formula, which I feel has more jasmine in. This is delicate. It's Ice Queen. It's Snow Queen. It's all year round. It's like that pillow that's wafting with the feathers and boof, hits you in the face. I love that about scents. It can have a dual personality. You know, it doesn't all have to be just, oh, it's a basic sweet scent. Oh, it's a basic whatever kind of scent, floral scent or whatever. I mean, even with Diorisma, even though it's a lily of the valley, it still has complexities to it. I still like fragrances that have a little bit of complexity to them. Pure Poison by Dior, your ice queen all year round in a bottle. Next one is going to be by Francesca Bianchi, and I've chosen this one, not Angel's Dust, actually. I've got Unspoken Musk. This is a hug in a bottle. This is Immortal, that everlasting herbaceous flower, combined with the musk that Francesca has combined in her fragrances. This isn't really an animalic musk. This is a musk that is so pretty. It's a pretty scent. I could actually call these scents pretty scents. I actually might title that Pretty, Dainty, Powerful Scents. This is... It has a lovely scent bubble around you as you apply this. But the musk with the Immortal, with Francesca Bianchi's DNA, gives it such an ethereal, dainty aspect to it that has still great presence, because Francesca Bianchi fragrances, like Liz's fragrances, like Papillon fragrances, have a presence about them. This is, yeah, I just love this, and you don't need a lot of this because this is an extrait de parfum. The musks in this are really magical. It's not a pure clean musk. It's a musk that is almost like stroking fur. It's slightly animalic, but it's still pretty. I don't find it skanky at all compared to maybe The Lover's Tale or Lost in Heaven, which some might find that too much. This is pretty, dainty, beautiful, unspoken musk. This next one is a bit of an oldie but a goodie, and it's a cheapie, and it's a lovely rose vanilla. My husband calls it Turkish Delight. Ghost by the House of Ghost, which I've only got about that much left. This is powdered Turkish Delight, if you like that, with vanilla added. It's an everyday scent. It works beautifully. Why do people not talk about this anymore? They should talk about it more. We should talk about it more. The bottle, again, is, when they did the advertising, I remember this man was watching this woman and he thought she was following him, or was he following her? And then she would disappear and then she would appear in another place. Again, this is one of those transportive scents that takes you somewhere different, I feel. This has lovely sillage, beautiful scent trail. It's probably one of the most beautiful scent trails on my skin that this creates. If you love rose, vanilla, with a bit of fruitiness, and it's slightly powdered, then Ghost, check it out. Now this next one was a blind buy, and it was such a successful blind buy. It is by Gallagher Fragrances, Mists of Time. The notes on there: candied orange, mandarin, blackcurrant, patchouli, birch, and mineral notes. It has this almost water-like effect on the skin, combined with sweet candied orange, you know, like that orange peel that you find and you smell it. It smells almost like that, mixed with blackcurrant, which is juicy. And then the patchouli in there gives it some body. Sweet, delicate, dainty, ethereal, all of those, but it packs a punch, it lasts, and it projects and gives beautiful scent trail. The bottle is, so I'm surprised I haven't got any more Gallagher fragrances like Rosé All Day, which I've always wanted and never had, but it's the only Gallagher that I own. And the name itself, you imagine yourself under a waterfall in somewhere in South America, and you're just breathing in that watery air. It's beautiful. It's the mists. As you breathe in the mists, it just flows through your body and gives you strength. Mists of time. And finally, this last one is actually a fine fragrance mist you can layer with most of these scents. Probably. It's quite a good one to layer. It's a floral scent, but it's called Misty Morning. This is Lily of the Valley, green tea, and I think it has some amber in it as well. It's fresh and uplifting, but it has really good longevity. And I also have the matching body cream to this, and you can layer with any of the scents that I've mentioned, any of them, to give a bit more of this fresh feeling. But I mean, Lily of the Valley, it's such a beautiful floral. It really is, I think. So underrated. Some people think, oh, it's been done now. Lily of the Valley, oh, that's so grandma. But remember, those grandmas were young women at the time. And people will be calling us grandmas in 30, 40 years' time. So just think on that what you will. But Misty Morning is that sunrise, looking out the window across the meadow, seeing the animals graze, the mountains in the background, and you're at peace. Misty Morning. Yep, it's just that and more. So those were my delicate, dainty, pretty scents that last and perform, project. With some you need to overspray more than others, but still perform and give you a lovely scent trail. What are yours? Comment down below. But until next time, you've been watching another edition of The Fragrantician. I'm Gabby. Keep safe, take care of yourselves. Remember, self-care isn't something that you think you should feel guilty for. It's making you happy, then why not? Till next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.